What is up, guys and gals? It's me, your old buddy Mr. Moose, back with another edition of Transport Fever. And we continue on with the U.S. campaign. We're on Mission 4, which is called Motor Industry. If you hadn't been following along, we're now starting our 4th hour on this particular mission. That's the thing about it. These campaigns are long, and each submission takes quite a bit of time to do. We've been at this, like I said, 3 episodes already. And now starting episode 4. So what have we done? Well, we've got a passenger line between Indianapolis and Chicago. We've got a food route here bringing goods from the farms to a processing center that's being processed, and then the food is being sent over to Chicago. I'd like to get that food up into Indianapolis as well as Detroit. To do so, I need to get a freight line rolling over there. I've also got stone moving to a construction materials factory here via truck, and then I've also got crude oil coming to here to make fuel via truck as well. A little bit of that's going to Detroit, a little bit of this is going to Indianapolis, but boy, if we put a freight line in all the way around here, we'd be able to get all that delivered. Plus, we could actually truck some moonshine over here to this freight station. Yeah, that's right, moonshine. And we could be able to get it going into those cities as well via train. So lots going on, lots to do. So let's get going and let's have a little fun with this. So yeah, I want to go ahead. The first thing is to expand this particular platform here. Now, my train's not going to be around for any bit of time. I'm going to lose all this food when I do an upgrade, but that's all right. When you upgrade, it's a lot easier than it was in Train Fever. Now you can actually just do an upgrade right here by saying, okay, I want 4 tracks and I want them to be a certain length. You can tell whether you want them to track to be standard or high speed. All that can be done here. If you want a secondary street connection over on this side, you can do that. Then you just hit apply and boom, it's done. It's not like where you used to have to destroy it and then try to fit it back into the same place. It's much easier to do that, which now means that with that done, I can connect all this rail up here and make everything work a little bit better. But first, let's go ahead and worry about getting our train track out of here. And since I reloaded the game, I want to verify that I'm not putting catenaries in, or catenary, or however people pronounce them. Let's go ahead and roll some track out of here. I want to keep my track coming out straight, so I can put my diamond switch in whenever I need it. There we go. And then we'll just keep on rolling a little bit. Straightforward here. I think that's probably about as good as I need to be straight. Then from here, I'm going to roll a hard left and start heading this line out to Detroit. So let's go ahead and continue to spin that out, trying to maintain as much speed as possible. And we'll look at where we're headed. Yeah, that looks good. Alright, keep popping this on down through here, like a so. So what my first goal with this freight line is to run it down through here. And I want to put a freight station in just about halfway between these 2 facilities, put a truck stop in, and just have this stuff and this stuff brought to the train station, to the freight station, and we can start getting goods off of there. So let's go ahead and throw that little freight station in, and we will go ahead and choose freight, and we can go ahead and swing this around and see if we can't get it to lock in right here. We should be able to hit that. Yeah, we could just bring it out here. It's no big deal, because if I put a truck depot right there, it's still going to catch it. So we'll just set that right there, and I'll put a little quick street out to it. Let's see, a little county road here. There we go, county road. My roads are starting to update because I'm into the 1920s. So dirt roads are a thing of the past. Everything's starting to be paved. All right, so let's go into here. And let's see. Let's make this turn a little bit here. There we go. And then we should be able to spin that on around. I know it's a little ugly, but it'll work. It slows down a little right there, but that's fine with me. Now, was that the inside or the outside line I did? Yeah, I messed up. Hey, quit. That's not the one I wanted to take. I'm gonna take this guy here. There we go. There we go. I can fix my errors. I make little mistakes. I don't think everything through. Like, I just realized I put that station in, and I probably should have doubled up the track on it, but I didn't think about it. That's all right. Now, I could put a station at each of these and just have a single train run out of here, but I don't want to spend that much money right now. I don't even know how much longer this campaign's going to run. So I wouldn't do that. If I was running like free play mode, I'd probably have an individual station right there, and I'd just be hauling out of that particular station, but that's not the case. So alright, let's upgrade this station and fix the mistake I made. Upgrade. It wouldn't have cost as much if I had done this in the beginning. Apply. There you go. Alright, so let's construction. Demolish. There we go. Bring that in there, and that'll get rid of that horrible run I had anyways to there a second ago. There we go. That'll come in there like so. See if we can put a little diamond crossing in here. We can, so that if we need to cross tracks, we can. Sweet. Alright, so that is done, and the next thing that we need to do is put a little train depot or a little truck stop in, so that we are catching the train station. And like I said, I can put this almost all the way out here at the road. I probably can put it at the road. I can, as you can see, and that's going to grab everything that we need to grab. It's almost going to grab the entire station. It does grab the entire station if I get on this side. Alright, so put that there. Now what we can do, we've had these guys trucking fuel over to Indianapolis, and I don't think that's what we're going to continue to do. Let's see, I want to go ahead and make my Indianapolis run using this track here. Try to maintain as much speed out of there. And let's see, let's run how I want to do this. I gotta have a way for the other train to get over that side if I need it to. So we could have a series of jumps right here. I should have a diamond intersection here. And that will work. And I should have a diamond intersection coming. Oops, don't do that. Start there and cross. Quit being so stupid. Too much curvature. Duplicated segments. No, it's not. You're stupid. Come on. I've done this a million times. Start there. Come over. No, it's not duplicated. Try again. If first you don't succeed, try again. There. Is that so hard? I mean, seriously. Alright, so this one over to this one. Maybe there? Oh, come on. I want to just swap these out. Fine, we'll just do it right here. There. And we'll swap that. Then we'll swap that. Too much curvature. I don't believe you, but that's okay. Too much curvature. Seriously, I don't think there's enough curvature. Come on now. There we go. There we go. There we are. Now let's see if we can't get a little more love right there. Sweet. All right, I know that looks nasty, but that's okay. All right, so let's run this up here like so. And I really need to cross this road at some point. Maybe that's where to do it. I don't want to cross two roads at one time. Let's see. New vehicle is available. It's the 412-2 Class 9000. Yay! Alright, let's go ahead and delete that. That was a big mistake there. This could be a mistake too. I'm gonna try to... Yeah. That's not what I want to do either. I should have stuck with the first plan. Well, it doesn't always work out the way you think it through in your mind. Let's just do this. It's a whole lot more track, but... Make sure that's doubled up there. That is. Man, this is gonna be a heck of a street crossing here. There we go. Now we can take this, come out that direction. I know I don't really need to do all this double tracking either. I could be just doing this in single track and be done with it, but gosh, it looks so much cooler when you do it like this, right? So, and it's fun. I mean, right? I mean, the fun part of this game is building, laying track and building stuff. All right, so we're gonna put our freight depot right here. Now, originally I thought I'd put it over here on the side, over in this area where most of the industry was starting out over here, but since it's expanded pretty much into this area as well, and we already have a freight stop here, I'm thinking we'll just bring it right in here. Probably lose a couple of buildings right here with these two guys, but we'll get it done. So let's go ahead and we'll do a terminal because we're not passing through here, and let's go ahead and make that 2 track. And if we bring that in there, 3 buildings need to be removed, but we only lose, we get it down to 2 buildings, and it only cost us $468,000. I'm taking that right there. Taking that. That works. Alright, so at this point, come out of here. And come out of here. There we go. And we bring this down to here. Like that. And this down to here like that. Oh, we're on our way. We are on our way now. That is looking massive. And then the last thing I need to do is something really crazy that you would have never been able to do in Train Fever. Is just make a big crossover here that starts from this line here, turns, comes across, and goes into this line here. But I want it to be on that track like that. Right there. Does that work? Yeah, that works. And then I'll do the exact same thing with the inside line. Right about here. There we go. Come on. Snap to the track, take that, and then continuing on over. Getting a little laggy. I could turn off a lot of the money and things like that. That's what all this is for here. Like I can turn off the little red line or numbers all over the screen that shows expenses. I can turn off the income numbers. I can turn off all the little flags over vehicles and such. It does help out lessen down some of the lag, so to turn some of that stuff off. But once you start getting a whole lot of building done, your computer does tend to slow down a little bit. Alright, so there's that intersection there. Alright, cool. So now what we have effectively done is I've got a route out of Chicago that can go this direction. I've got a route out of Chicago that can go into Indianapolis. I've got a route that can come out of Indianapolis and go this direction as well, which means the first thing I want to work on is getting this gas fuel delivery. So I need to create a couple of lines. And the first one is, instead of having these trucks go all the way to Indy, out of here, I'm going to modify that to take those trucks over to this guy here. So I'm going to go Detroit, Kilroot to the refinery, fuel to dock 1, fuel to dock 1, Detroit, fuel to Indy. This is the one that I had taken the trucks all the way to there. And let's see, I've only got 4 trucks on it, so we're going to modify this. So we'll come here to the add station button. And what I'm going to do is just delete out the Indianapolis Exchange, remove that, add this guy in right here, which is the Detroit siding. There we go. I'll take that off of there, and then I'll go ahead and change this just to say fuel to transport, and we'll be good with that. That will get that done. The other thing I need to do is get a train on here. And I've got a depot down here. Man, I need to put a depot closer up this direction. So let's put a depot off of... let's put it right here in the middle. Let's put a depot right here. That makes it a little bit easier for me to get all this in. Okay, that was interesting with that invisible line there. Come on, come out of there. That didn't work right. Alright, so that should start to bring it around. And that should finish bringing it on around. And let's go ahead and put the depot in, which we'll grab right here. And we'll rotate that around. Boom. And we'll go ahead and get us a train. Now this train's going to be hauling fuel, so it's going to need a tanker on it. It's also going to be hauling construction materials for us. So we want to go ahead and put some stake cars on it as well. So we'll need an engine first of all. We could go cheap with the Mogul here. No big deal. We've been using the, I think we've been using the Atlantic. The Milwaukee class, man, it costs so much to buy. I love that train, but it is pretty expensive, as is the new Class 9000. So the Mikado is a really good train, and at $2 million, It's all right. We'll grab it. Then we'll go ahead and throw a couple of oil tankers on here. Each oil tanker holds 12 crude. So there's 24, 36. And let's go ahead and throw some state cars on here as well. That's good. Nice. And then we need to create a line. Create a line for that. So let's set the line. And the line for this new line is going to be here to here. There we go. And we can go ahead and just call this Indy. Let's see. And this will be just freight. Indy Freight 1. There we go. Except there's an E in freight, isn't there? Alright, so there's our freight line for Indy. And we're good with that. So that guy's set. He is rolling out. He's going there. That'll go ahead and queue up and tell these guys that they need to be taking fuel to this guy. And then I will go ahead and over here, we'll set a new line up. And this one will be pretty simple. We can come over here, make a new line, add an Indy. And this will take fuel from here up to here. There we go. So this is now Indy. And this will be dub fuel to Speedway. There we go. And that'll be a quick and dirty route. Now, I really don't have to do this because I do already have trucks hauling things around Indy, and they would stop at this place and pick up and deliver here if I put it into their route. But I'm just going to make this simple and make a whole new route, throw some trucks on it, and be done with it. So again, we're going to be hauling oil, so I want to make sure the cargo type is oil. I'll get 3 or 4 of these and set all of those to the Indy fuel to Speedway. There we go. So those guys are going to make their run, and that should work out pretty good for us. Alright, meanwhile, delivery in town is pretty much going to be handled just off the train. I don't have any other freight docks in town, and pretty much that train station is going to cover the majority of the industrial area, which is where you need your building supplies. So that is good. And then fuel as well. Let's look at fuel. Fuel, I believe, is under, yeah, industrial as well. So we should be good with that. Should have everything pretty much covered there. So at this point, these guys should get to cooking a little fuel and sending it out for us. That is going to fuel dock. We got a little bit of a congestion problem here. I think we should probably clear that out for a little bit. So let's bring this up and tell them just to haul. And we'll do the same thing with this one so we don't have anybody waiting. That should get trucks moving again. Sometimes you run into that. If you've got too much stuff going into one dock, usually I find it's best to only have 2 routes going into a dock. So that way you don't get congestion, because there's basically 2 routes in a dock. You've got an outside route that comes in here and goes around, and you have an inside route that comes around and goes around the outside. And if anybody's sitting there doing nothing, then you'll have some issues. Now that truck should have driven. There he goes. Because it looks like we were getting bottlenecked and nothing was coming into the refinery. So the refinery's working again. And all these trucks are sitting here in a parade line. Hopefully they'll get back to work. Alright, so that's done. This also means now we need to do a little signaling and get another train up and running. Because now we can haul food into Indy. So let's go ahead. And we'll come here. And we'll do a little signaling. I need a signal on this side. Signals. Thank you very much. Oh, we got electronic signals now. Nice. Alright, so I can put an electronic signal there, telling that train not to come out. And I can put an electronic signal on this side, telling that train not to come out if it doesn't have a clear path. I need to put my little diamond crossing in here that allows me to tell them which side to go on if they need to swap sides. Here we go. And which I'm probably not going to have a need for one here because I'm not going to have anything waiting here. Too much curvature. It's its favorite saying in this game. Too much curvature. I love too much curvature. Alright, so let's see if I can't get this in here a little bit better. There we go. Alright, and a signal in front of this, about right there, works real good for me. And then we'll put over here a signal and a signal here. And then we need to do a signal here, stopping that traffic if trains are coming off of this line. And then we need a signal probably here, stopping these guys in case there's a train coming in. I want this train to stop, but I don't want it backed up over the road. So we'll put that there. We'll also put a signal here to stop this train. If a train's going this way and it can't get through the intersection, it can stop here and not block the road. Alright, then here we need a signal on this side that takes this train and tells it if this line's not clear, you can't go. Same thing over here. We need a signal on this side that will basically tell a train coming this direction. If the coast isn't clear, you can't keep on going that way. And we need a signal here that will tell this train if you're coming that way, you can't go through there if there's a train coming out of Indy. So all that is marked up. That is good. Why that train's running on the left-hand side, I don't know. We'll go and put that there, put that there. And we'll put one there, put one there. So what I'm doing with these signals, and I may have explained this before, I'm creating what's called blocks. And each block is an area that a train can run freely without being impeded by the train in front of him. So if I've got 4 or 5 trains on this line, and let's say I got one train way up here, and this train is coming up to this signal right here. If there's not a signal down here to tell it that he's clear to move down this direction once the train passes it, then he'll stop at that signal and won't continue again until I give him a way to get down here. And so every time you put a signal, it's basically a way to tell a train you can move up to that spot because the track in front of you is clear to that spot. And then you want to, after that, you want to put some more signals in, and basically that stops light there is saying you got to stop here until the road in front of you is clear. All right, and then here coming out of this station, why that put that in, I don't know. I want one here saying you're clear to come out, and one here saying you're clear to come out. And then I want one here saying, let's see, what is that? I've got one here stopping for this intersection. And I wouldn't want the train to come up here and block this set of points either, so that's good enough for me. And that one is blocking that, and then I just need one here to block that guy from coming out. Sweet. All right, so that effectively has everything running, and we've got this guy moving. Hopefully we're getting some fuel moved up here to the dock, or to the dock. There we go. Yes, we have 2 fuel waiting. The next thing we could do is move some construction materials over there. So we need to take all these guys that have been running into Indy with construction materials and just transfer them over to the siding now, because there's no need for them to be doing that. So I can go ahead and modify this route that was doing that and shorten up their driving distance, which lessens my operating overhead. So this was stone to the construction, which is bringing the stone out of the quarry. The blue line here was constructions to dock 1. That was that delivery I want to do. So I want to modify that to take it now to this transit here. So we'll just go ahead and Indianapolis dock 1 needs to be removed, and we'll add this guy in. So add station, add that in, and that will just say now I can just relabel this. So I'm taking construction materials to the transport or train station, or whatever you want to call it, however you want to go. All right, so those guys should now start driving a shorter distance, which means less operating costs for me as they come over here and make deliveries. And because I've got the state car on the back of this, it'll be able to haul that materials as well for me. And it's dropping it off right into the industrial district, which needs them. So that should save me a lot of overhead. And that part is done. All right, so come down here, and we're gonna do some more signaling here. And we'll use the electronic signals since we do have those now. And the first thing we'll do is all my trains are gonna be traveling on the right. So anywhere I've got double track, I don't have to worry about how a train is running, other than to say, you're clear to get to this point here, and you're clear to get to that point there. And then I'll come here and everybody will get a stoplight. Nobody gets a stoplight going over the street. We're not going to worry about blocking the street. We're not going to worry about the street because nobody's going to block the street. Alright, so coming into here, this line is going to be coming in, and this line's coming in as well, and has to hold here in case there's a train coming out that needs to transfer. So that's good. Alright, and if you're coming in this direction and you transfer over to this line and you have a train coming out that's transferring, I need to stop and not go any further. Let's just say that would be handled by that one, so I don't need that. And that's your outbound train there. Needs a light right here if he's trying to transfer and he can't get out. And then this leg coming out needs a sign there in case there's a train coming this way and trying to get over. Yep. And we're going to assume that that light would stop it. If a train were coming out of this line going this direction and needs to transfer over to this side over here, we would assume that it would get stopped here if a train were coming in this way. And then it could make its change over. Because again, you don't want the train to stop in the middle of the points and block the points. So, right, so then this train coming out of here, everybody needs a stop at the coming out of here. So let's stop that train there, and let's stop that train there, and let's stop this train here and this train track here. A lot to think through, right? Again, this train's not going to leave the station if something is changing in here, which the only thing that would change is if I had a train over here that needed to get onto that line. But that shouldn't be an issue. Alright, then a train coming out of here. If it needed to switch there, this one shouldn't even let it out. And if a train is coming in this direction, it's already switched there. It probably would need to wait here if there was something. We'll see. Might have some. Hopefully that's no issues. And let's see. As far as my points on this, I'll go ahead and say you're clear to here, and you're clear to here. And over here we'll say clear to here. Make sure I put these in the right spot. Because if you don't put them in the right spot, they won't work because they're facing... They got to be facing the direction of travel. Alright, so there's that one. And I am getting just, like I said, I'm getting a little lag from the... So many processes going on the screen. Let's turn off a few more things. Let's turn off the train IDs. Let's turn off people at the bus stops. I'm going to leave my signals up. I'm going to turn all that off. So the only thing I really got going on right now is the signals I'm putting up. Alright, so that line is done. So now I just need to signal this. I got to stop there. Alright, so that's pretty much signaled up. Alright, so with all that said, now we can add a line to get some food into Indy. I need to fix this down here though. Duh. Moosey, come on now. Think. Let's pause the game real quick. And I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this and that and that and that, so that we can clean this up a little bit now that we've added all this track in, right? Alright, so there, and go to there. That's good. And then we'll bring this out a little bit. Kind of get it down in this general area here. Come on now. There we go. There we go. Because this is sort of going to end up being a bypass for us to get grain or to get goods up to Indy and Detroit. There we go. And there's no need to cross into this one, but I will do a diamond here in case I need it for anything. Alright, so basically what I've got now is I've got a route running up this direction, and when it gets to here, if it's going to India, it's going to get on this set of tracks, right? And it'll pass on through. Or it could come up this set of tracks here, either one. Or Indy will come over here, Detroit's going to come through here. That's what I'm thinking. Alright, so, let's see, there is... Alright, so let's go ahead and change this signal here. In case there's a train coming that needs to get onto that line. Which means I need to do that. I haven't done that yet. Back up. Alright, so let's think this through a little bit better. I can get rid of these signaling devices. Alright, so train coming out of there needs to go there. I didn't do this right, but I can fix it. Alright, So instead of doing what I just did, what I should do is even get rid of all this again. What I should do is come from here, come across and into there like that, and then come from here over into there. There. And then just have a way here to get onto that track if I'm only coming up here. So the reason for that would be if I've got a train that's coming out of Chicago and it's coming up here to make a delivery to this other than what I am using over here, if I need to use this for delivery and it's going to go right back to Chicago, it would allow this line to come up here, keep speed, maintain, and then at the last second come onto this track here, make its delivery on this platform, and then turn and come right back out and haul down this line without any issues. So that's why I'm putting that one in like that. Though I probably don't need all this stuff. This is really more complicated than it probably needs to be, since we're doing the campaign. If I was doing free mode, I would really sit and go through all this stuff and make sure everything was right. There, that's blocked there, and then we'll just block everything coming out of the stations to make sure that they're not having any issues coming out. Put a block there, and come on, block there. Come on, give me one more right in here. Why are you not? Why are you being complicated? There. All right. Plenty of signaling, plenty of signaling. All right, so let's do a little waypointing, and then we'll start getting everything really complicated here. So we got our food train that we've been using, and it needs to pick all of these goods. I'm going to use a waypoint now. I'm going to put a waypoint in right here, and I'm going to put waypoints on all of these. And what these allow me to do is it allows me to tell the train which side of the station to go into. So I already have my train that is running food out of this particular station down here, and it's not running food, but it's picking up grain and bringing it in to be processed down here. It's this train right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here and I'm going to find that particular train, which is a Chicago farm to processing train. There's two of them on it. I have it originally coming into down here. What is the name of this particular place? Get rid of this. That is Chicago. It doesn't tell me the name of it other than Chicago. Okay, it is Chicago. So when it comes up here, though, it is coming into Chicago Transfer. So Chicago Transfer is right here. Before it comes into Chicago Transfer, I want to tell it which side of Chicago Transfer to go to. So I'm going to go to Chicago, which is where it was down there. And then I'm going to add station in. And using the waypoint here, I'm going to tell it that I want it on this side of the track all the time. So I'm going to grab this waypoint here, click on it. It added in Chicago Waypoint 1, which means that train will always run up here and it will always come into this siding on this side of the track. Ah, so that is good. That is working. Where are we at with fuel? Are we getting fuel delivering? Fuel making its way down here? Probably not, since I've got the train locked up. Alright, let's see where we're at. Here's our train. Fuel train, what do you got? It's got 11 construction materials and 24 fuel on it this time. Sweet. So that will make its way in there. Now, let's come down here. And we're going to do a little bit more finagling around here with these trains. I'm not going to worry about them so much. I think they're good to go. I need to add in another... Do I want to add in another depot here? That's a question. No, because those trains are going in a circle. They're fine. What I want to do is add in a new line. Alright, so this line is going to be my Indianapolis food line. It's going to start here, and it is going to travel up this line, and it's going to Indianapolis, not Detroit. So it needs to come in, and I want it to go to this far outside siding here when it comes through. So it's going to pass up to there, and then it's going to come to here. And see how that route has planned it to come up to there? So that works perfectly. And then it will leave, travel out of here, come all the way up this line, and it will deliver to this facility here. And that is rocking good. Now I could specify that the food comes in on this side and the gas comes in on this side, which I probably should do. So let's do that real quick. So let's come back here to waypoints, and we'll put our waypoint in. There we go. And then we'll go back to our line manager. And I've got the new line that I just made, line 1. And I've got it coming into Indianapolis transfer, but between Chicago transfer and Indianapolis transfer, I need to add in the waypoint that tells that train to specifically come to that track right there. And that is done. That is good. So the other thing I need to do is label this, and this will be Indy. And this will be food to freight. And this will have to have a freight line established for it in town, because food goes to the business district, not to the industrial district. And the other thing I want to do is I want to make sure that my fuel that's coming in, let's see, that is not it. Indy fuel to Speedway, Indy fuel, Indy Freight 1. That's Indy Freight 1. Indy Freight 1 is the pink line coming in, and what I want to do with it is make sure that it is delivering to this side of the station. So where it comes into Indianapolis transfer, right prior to that, which is Detroit Holt, click on it, and then if I hit add station and I click on that, it will specifically make sure that it always comes in on that side of the line. So that's how waypoints work. So with all that done, I should be able to come down here to this depot and buy a train, and we'll buy another Mikado. Is that what we bought? No, that's the, yeah, that's the Mikado. And we want to put, let me remember, food goes on the box cars, right? Food goes on box cars, yep. So we'll go ahead and get food running out of here. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4 food. And just for giggles, I'm going to throw 2 tankers on here and 2 state cars on it. Because what I believe will happen is, I believe if I drive this to Indy with food on it, the computer's smart enough that it will see that the tank cars and everything go to Chicago, and it should grab some fuel and leave it on the docks for this train line to pick up. So I'm gonna go ahead and try that out. So Indy, let's see, Indy Fuel, Indy Freight 1. Is that what we're doing? Indy Freight 1? Is that what we called this line? I believe that's what we called this line. Alright, so... or did we call that Freight 1? I think I am getting myself confused. Nope. Yeah, I put it on the wrong line. Let's get that train. That's this one here. Get it on the right line. Food freight. There we go. Confusing myself. Alright, so at this point, now we got food coming up here. And we need to get food into this area here. Now, our train depot is going to get us into no areas of blue. So we're going to have to figure out a place to put a bus station in so that we can get a little bit of food into the blue area, which is our commercial district. Probably going to have to do some demo in order to do that. And I hate to do that, but we're just not going to be able to get the coverage. Sometimes you have to do the things you don't want to do. So if we come in here and look, let's find a place that's not going to cost us a fortune to do this. That's 338,000, and that covers almost the entire business district. That's 200 million, or 2 million. Definitely don't want to do it there. Oh, now that's 1.6 million, but that's 383k, 400k, 436k to do it there, 1.3 million to do it there. Yeah, I'd say let's do it right in here somewhere. And that will take out 4 buildings, but still, that's $400,000 to do that is cheap. And then we need a line that goes from the other freight depot to there. So we'll create a new line. We'll go from here. Ooh, the Alco H8600, double them up, they're good. And the Ford Model 77. Haha, now we can haul a little bit more stuff. All right, so we got that set up, and this will be Freight 2. So Indy. And this is a ground route, so Freight 2. We should say like station Freight 2 or rail. Rail's probably easier. Come on. Rail to Freight 2. And again, if I want to come in here and really be difficult. Oops. There. If I really wanted to be difficult, I'd come in here and rename this as Indy Freight 2. If my game would cooperate and let me do it. It is a little, at this speed, it's a little glitchy. Or what did I name the other one? Docks? Dock 1, Dock 2? I don't have my naming consistencies down yet. Alright, so let's slow things down to a crawl a little bit and see what's going on here. So at this point we got that. We need a couple of trucks to go on to that. So let's buy a couple of trucks that can haul food. That's the one thing you have to check with these trucks. Like the Ford just came out. Some of them don't haul everything. Like the Mack will haul certain things. The Ford will haul certain things sometimes. You just have to verify. As you get into some of the trucks later down the road, some of the trucks won't haul certain things. Logs, livestock, coal, food. So it will haul food. So that's what we want. So we can look at the 9 capacity on it versus 8 for the Mack. And then the Ford is 25 miles an hour, whereas the Mack was 19. Operating cost on the Mack was 8.2K per year. The Ford, though, is 12.2K. So there's your downfall on that. But the Ford's a bit stronger, and it's double the horsepower. So let's go ahead and get a couple of Fords. And we'll throw those on the road to haul our food. And we will set those up for our Indy Rail to Freight 2. There we go. Get those out and running. And we should be getting some food in here shortly. Alright, so there's our building materials train, or our materials train, freight train coming from over here. And that is bringing everything around. We're up to 50 units delivered over to the track here, as you can see. Those are coming up to here. We could have moved that down, shortened that distance up a little bit, but I already had it pre-existing, so yeah, we'll suffer through that little bit of drive. But things are getting moved. Nothing is sitting on the dock. Let's put it that way. Well, I mean, we got a little bit accomplished. A lot of track laid. And which some of you guys may think, well, that wasn't necessarily needed. So the next thing I could do now is I've got moonshine being delivered to here, right? Yeah, I got moonshine being delivered there. I could move moonshine over to here as well. And that would load some moonshine on that train to go to Indianapolis as well. I could up my distribution of it and make even more money. I'm not so much worried about the moonshine though. If I was doing free play, probably would be all over that stuff. But not being doing that, I could also move moonshine up to here, and I could have it being distributed by train out to Detroit. I could have that food truck stop here and pick it up and take it out there. I would have to specify probably a couple of box cars to haul goods instead of food, because the AI is going to see the food and try to fill the food up the most. So what do we have here? Anything on there? Nope, nothing so far. So it came in empty. I don't know, it looked like it had a little bit of delivery there. What do we get? Wait, which one is this guy? He's on Freight 2. And that guy's on Freight 2, but he picked up 9 food. And that guy didn't pick up any food. Interesting. Quite the interesting thing. Alright, so we're running. And that's going to do it for today's episode, I guess. I still haven't made it over to Detroit with anything, but we'll get there eventually. So the other thing we need to do as well, and got a few minutes left, but no, we'll tie it in the next episode. We now need to get a freight train that runs from Chicago up, and what we can do is we can start a train in Chicago. We'll finish out this route to Detroit if the game lets us. And what we'll do is we'll bring this freight line over into Detroit, drop it off. And what we can do is we can have it come up and do a pickup here with some goods for Detroit, truck it over to Detroit, then turn around, stop again with a load and take it out. But we can also have a couple of fuel cars or food cars on there. So it loads up with food in Chicago, brings the food up here, and then stops and grabs goods to go back down to Chicago. So yep, a lot you can do with it. So but anyways, at this point we'll call it an episode. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys are enjoying Transport Fever. If you are, make sure you give it a thumbs up and leave some comments down below. I'm having a ball playing this. I've been messing around with both the campaign as well as free mode, and to be honest with you, free mode just spoils you to death because there's so much to do in there, and it's crazy. But I do want to finish the campaign up because I am having fun with it. So I hope you guys are enjoying it too. Let me know what you guys want to see more of in the comments. If you'd rather see free mode versus free play mode versus campaign, or if you're enjoying the campaign as well. So anyways, yeah, 51 out of 100 fuel delivered. We'll get that done, and we should be getting this wrapped up pretty soon. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Have yourself a great day. God bless, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.